I am going to dive right into it and tell you 10 reasons why you should not get dreadlocks. Yeah, I said it. There are at least 10 reasons why you shouldn't.
She addicted to the manicures and coffee. But don't say that, cause she ain't that. No, she is more than she seems. She addicted.
I have a privilege here. I'm trying to find the best lighting. It is so cloudy today. Hey sunshines, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liza Jane, and some of you might also know me as Liza Locs.
She don't care if you don't like her. She rocking crew necks with some bands she never heard of. Black skinny jeans, docs on it.
I feel like I talk about all the wonderful things about dreadlocks. I want you to be armed with knowledge before you do it, because they are a commitment. The first reason you should not get dreadlocks is patience. If you don't have any, this is going to be a very trying time for you. A lot of people get dreadlocks so that they gain patience, and that can happen. It is going to take a lot of time, possibly, for them to be something that you absolutely love, and there are going to be days where you wake up, you're frustrated by fuzz, and that they don't look the way that you anticipated they would. If you don't have it, this is going to be super, super hard for you. So just know that going in, you are going to need it. It is going to be required. Number two, if you ever decide to take them out, it is a lot of work and patience. So when you decide to get rid of them, you don't have to necessarily shave your head or cut your locks off, but it will take time to comb them out, and that is something that you should think about. There could be damage to your hair, depending on how you took care of your dreadlocks to begin with, but it might not be in the condition that you started with. And when you change your mind, it's going to require some work to get them out and to get your hair back to the health it was to begin with. Number three is the money involved. A lot of people think that these do not cost a lot of money, but let me just tell you, if you want to go to a loctician, that's gonna cost a lot of money. If you wanna add extensions, whether on your own or with somebody else, that price can add up. If you want decorations, that's going to add up. You need to have a good shampoo, a good blow dryer, shower cap for the shower, swimming cap. You might need a new pillow. There are a lot of things that go into dreadlocks that all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, I need this, I need that. So money, yeah, you're not going to save money with dreadlocks. If you are a person that likes a lot of change, this might not be the style for you. If you like to color your hair a lot, if you like different cuts, of course, there are ways to change it up. And I would like to think that I find all the ways I can change them. Although there are limits to even what I can do. You want to be careful with how much you color them. You want to make sure that you're not overdoing it, because every time you do it, you can cause damage to your locks. So if it's something that you love to constantly change and change your hair, it's probably not the best hairstyle for you. Itch and pain. Some people experience itch from either just when they're beginning dreadlocks or throughout their entire experience with dreadlocks. Also, the pain of installing them or getting maintenance can occur. Can you handle that? Are you very sensitive to pain when you get maintenance and a loctician is working on your noggin and it is tender and it is sore? Can you handle sitting in a chair getting them installed for 10 to 15 hours? Can you handle that? There are limits to all of our pain and sensitivity, and I think it's very important to be aware those do come into play. And I just want you to have that full knowledge that itch is real and pain can be real. What is the condition of your scalp right now and your hair? I do not recommend getting dreadlocks if you already have damage, if you already have a sensitive, dry scalp. These are things that you want to make sure they're healthy before you ever begin your dreadlock journey. And also, if your hair is thin, and I have thin hair, but I'm talking very, very thin, especially for women. If you have very fine, thin hair, almost to the point where you feel like you are balding, or you have areas that are just super sparse, these could be accentuated by the time you get your dreadlocks. So while with my thin hair, it adds volume, it adds bulk, it camouflages the thinness, it can be the opposite for somebody that has extreme thinness and sparsity. Sparsity? I don't know. You know what I'm saying though? With your sections, it can just highlight that. How comfortable are you with your scalp showing? This is something you want to think about. I think it's important to think about your profession, either the one that you're in or the one that you're going to. Now, do I think that people should judge on if we have dreadlocks or not? I think it's ridiculous. I think that you can do the same job no matter what your hair looks like. But I would be even more ridiculous to say that people don't make judgment. And I think that it is important to realize that as you're going into a profession, if you are starting your new locks, they are going to be wild and fuzzy and maybe stick out and maybe not look as sharp as you want them to look or as they will eventually turn out. But this is considerations you have to think about before you get them. Is it going to be acceptable at your job? I think it's crap that anybody would make judgment on your hair, but it is something that I know people have to consider. So make sure that you know what you're up against with your profession and really think about that, because I would hate for you to put in all the time and work into dreadlocks to walk in the door at work and your boss send you back home and tell you to get rid of them or don't come back. The washing and drying. Okay, just so you know, it takes a while. It takes a while. I mean, when I'm washing my hair, it at least takes me 15 to 20 minutes to wash it and to rinse it really, really good so I can make sure there's absolutely no residue in it. Then the drying, even with a blow dryer, even if I blow dry it for a half an hour, it's still going to be wet. You don't want your hair wet for longer than 12 hours. So you have to make sure that they're dry within that time frame. If you can't do it outside in the sun, you're gonna have to get out the blow dryer. You wanna avoid mildew and smell and everything else. If you have a job to go to, that might not work. So you have to find a day of the week that you can devote to not only washing them, but drying them and palm rolling them and separating them. All these things that people with dreadlocks do after they shower, you're going to have to do, and you're going to have to set aside that time. It's not an easy wash and go type of thing at all. It's really important to know, number 9, that you are going to get attention. People will ask you a lot of questions. You will be known as the dreadlock girl or guy. You will get the oddest questions. You will get the same questions over and over again. People will want to touch them. People will stare. People will compliment you. People will give you dirty looks. I think it's important to know that you will get attention. And whether you're okay with that or not, it's going to happen. So a lot of people can feel very introverted after they get them if it's too much. Other people love it and love the compliments and love the looks. So what are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with all eyes on you when you walk into a room? Because that can happen. And I think number 10 is very important to be aware of, and that is judgment / cultural appropriation. So with the judgment, I want to talk about family members, friends, neighbors, those people that might scoff at you, might tell you that they're dirty, they're ugly, they're gross. Why would you do that? Ew, nasty. It goes on and on and on, and all of a sudden your mom doesn't want to be seen with you and your neighbor snubs her nose at you. How are you going to handle those things? Are you going to be okay with it? Are you going to be able to handle it? Are you going to be able to be okay with mom not talking to you for a month? Are you going to be okay not waving to your neighbor anymore? Are these things that you can handle? Because it does happen. A lot of people before they get dreadlocks, myself included, are concerned about cultural appropriation and if you are doing it. And I'm not here to debate anybody. All I'm here to say is that the conversation can come up. I remember before I got dreadlocks, I Googled everything I could before I went out in the world with them, which I think is very important to know the history of dreadlocks, but not only know it, but know what other cultures deal with. I am very aware that I have privilege. I realize this. People see mine, they say they're pretty. I go on with my day, thank you very much. And that is that. A lot of people in our world, unfortunately, especially people of color, have to deal with a lot more judgment, a lot more ridicule when they have dreadlocks, and they can be judged immediately when they have them. I think it is important to be sensitive when somebody brings it up. I feel like it is important to listen and use our ears and really hear what somebody is telling you if it does bother them. Really important to know yourself, know why you have them, to be able to convey that, but not necessarily say the words of why you have them, why you feel like you can. I don't think that it's important to have the argument. I think it's important to let others be heard and to really appreciate these locs, where they come from, how they affect other people, what they mean in other cultures, to be sensitive to all of that. I realize the privilege that I have with dreadlocks and that others do not have the same thing, that they are actually quite the opposite, that they might have discrimination because of their dreadlocks. Yes, somebody might say something to you. And are you okay with that? Are you going to be able to handle that? Of course, I love my dreadlocks, and I could probably tell you 100 reasons why you should have dreadlocks. But this video was about getting to the nitty-gritty and letting you know that there are some real things, real troubles, real problems that can occur when you have dreadlocks. And whether you consider them problems, I mean, I think the pros are way up here and the problems are way down here, but they are still there. I might have to do a video of 10 reasons why you need dreadlocks, so be on the lookout for that one. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, please subscribe to my channel. I do upload every Monday and Thursday. Also, find me on Instagram, Liza_locs. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the weight. They can be so heavy. Can we have an 11? They can be really heavy. 11. I hope if you can, you are still staying home and staying safe. I will talk to you guys soon.
She addicted to the manicures and coffee. But don't say that, cause she ain't that. No, she is more than she seems. Got her nails like she walking on a carpet. Take a pic cause she gotta show the new fit. Paper straws cause she gotta say the planet. Wildflower cake, smash a fit cause she planning. She a killer with some money on the way. Gotta pack up and move that